Angry MGTOW here, and no good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. As men, we're always going to find ourselves being punished for the things we do, one way or another. You try to help others, and you find yourself being attacked, demonized, and destroyed. You talk about helping women, and then in reality, you lose everything. The truth is that both men and women suck. Women these days, though, they suck a lot more. Because they're dishonest and they get away with murder. And it's unfair. It's extremely unfair. And men have lost so much because of this. But let's not fool ourselves. There are some guys who call themselves MGTOW, and I saw this great comment earlier today. The same guys, this very same guys who get angry whenever they see one MGTOW talking to women or going on dates or having sex, the guys that flip out and say that you shouldn't be doing that stuff, if feminism were to go away suddenly and women weren't such cunts, these would be the guys who would abandon the MGTOW philosophy in a heartbeat and run back to the plantation. The guys in MGTOW who are playing hard, the guys who are so-called hardcore, and they're really the tough MGTOW, those are the guys who would be back on the plantation in a heartbeat, looking to get some pussy. You know, that's how I'm looking at the comments, and some idiot just already got kicked. He goes, MGTOW is gay as fuck. C. Jagger says, where are you from? I'm from New York City. I was raised in New York City. And it's funny because I grew up in Cuttville, where every bitch walks around with a stick right up her ass. Cramped up there. It's like she's born with it. I've talked about it before that feminism was never about equality. Feminism was about women getting special privileges while giving men special punishments. And it's continued on. I want to just let guys know that don't think that this whole brotherhood thing really exists. You know, Turd Fling Monkey, we talk a lot. Well, so-and-so. And, you know, he brought up a good point not too long ago. He said, it's funny because everyone's friends now, but he said that he keeps to himself and he keeps his business private because you're friends today, enemies tomorrow when you no longer agree with what someone's doing. You throw that other person under the bus. I mean, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up, guys, isn't it? It's fucked up. But it's how it is. You gotta realize a lot of these guys that talk all this shit and they're on these comments, they don't give a damn about you. They could care less about anyone else but themselves. But they're here for company. They're here because they had their lives destroyed. They're here because they're miserable with where they are at right now in life. They're here because they want someone to hold their dicks for them while they pee. They don't really care about us. They don't really care about men. They only care about themselves. Many of them are too afraid to go into public, too afraid to engage women. So they come here and they want to be coddled, but then they also want to dictate. Going out of your way to help others is kind of pointless. Sometimes I catch myself I used to be think I was a good person, and I cared and wanted to help others. Sometimes I have to catch myself because I try to help others when I'm the one who's in need. And I have to be careful. Even when things are going well for me, I still have to be mindful. I can't just give away everything I have. You have to be focused on yourself and what you want in life, what you want out of life. And you can't put others first. You have to put yourself first. Because all you have is you. All you have is you. So Fun Bun in the comments says, angry situations are not improving in society. What kind of advice would you give to inspire hope? The advice I would give is to focus on the things that you enjoy. Focus on the things that will make you happy. And don't let fear completely overtake your life. Right now we live in an age where it's not the threat of war that actually controls us, that keeps us up at night. It's the mainstream media and the lies and the crap. The lies and the crap that keep us literally shaking, because the reality of things are very different. Much of feminism today is because of the mainstream media, how it's been featured throughout Hollywood, in commercials, by news, specifically by the news, the mainstream media. So Fun Bun says, I have money in the bank, but money isn't making me happy. I'll tell you something funny about that. You have to spend some of that money. There are some things that you can experience in this world that are truly amazing. Truly amazing. For me, getting in a jacuzzi with a beautiful woman and then realizing that this is like, she's nothing special. She is nothing special. And literally playing with her tits like they mean nothing to me, because they don't. And just relaxing and enjoying myself. Or going somewhere different and having a great meal. Something I haven't tried before. Or something I have tried before, but I just really want to enjoy. Getting away and enjoying your life, that's the most important thing. You have to enjoy your life as much as possible. And when I say enjoy your life, I'm not talking about taking a vacation every couple of months or every half a year. And I'm not talking about working your ass off so that you can enjoy your weekends. You should be working towards finding something that is sustainable, that will allow you to enjoy the rest of your life. This 9 to 5 is absolute crap. It's no way to live. It's absolutely no way to live. Mr. Aina says, I don't listen to mainstream BS of any kind, but I can stay up all night worrying about real dangers to myself and the world. The thing is that you're still on social media. You're still seeing this crap. You have to kind of disconnect from it gradually. And you kind of have to also put yourself out there and realize that shit's gonna happen. No benefits, no rewards. For example, where I'm at right now, there are times when I've worried, I'm going to this place and, maybe the cab driver could drive me to somewhere shady and I can get killed, or, again, I let fear overtake my thoughts. And when you let fear overtake your thoughts, you start to come up with all kinds of things, and you miss out on really great experiences in life. You take risk in life, but then you also get to enjoy the rewards. And most of the time, the things you're worried about will never actually happen. We often psych ourselves so much out worrying about things that we worry about the things that will never actually happen. So Fun Bun, I like the way he puts it. It's modern day slavery. That's what we experience, that we were living in, modern day slavery. The slave trade of going back and forth, the 9 to 5. It's miserable. No one should live like that. In other countries, Most people don't live like that. In France, I believe, they actually mandate that you have to take off a certain amount of time from work every single year. You are forced to take off a certain amount of time. You know how it works in France, lunch times? People go out to lunch, they have a bit of wine and some cheese, and then they might make it back to the office around 2 o'clock with a good buzz. That's France. In America, it's work, 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 work. For what? For what? It's slavery. And then you have the idiots who all they do is chase, they dream about pussy all day long. One thing that's happened to Americans is that we're, as men especially, specifically as men, we are bombarded with ads that are sexual, literally trying to entice us. In New York, you have billboards of half-naked women in promiscuous positions. This designed to allure you, and then you're shamed whenever you have sexual desire. I mean, it's literally it's a terrorist tactic. It's terrorizing us as men. It's terrorizing. It's frustrating. It's horrible. But that's why you have to focus on yourself. For me, I often talk about how I go out sometimes and just have an adventure, fuck a girl, enjoy my life. Sometimes I think about the fact that, shit, what the fuck would happen if I caught something from one of these women? I think about it. I always use a condom. But then at the same time, I think I only get one life. I only get one life, and guess what? I'm gonna die at some point. And imagine wasting your life worrying about what could or couldn't happen. And then imagine living to 90 years old. 90 years old, you haven't done anything. You haven't traveled. You haven't had wild sex. You ate well throughout your entire life. So you were very, very careful. Didn't eat red meat. You were careful not to go out into the sun. And you know what? It all paid off. Usually it doesn't. But let's say it all paid off. And now you're 90 years old. And you lived a healthy, clean life. And you didn't take any unnecessary risk. And now what? You're going to die. But you're going to die knowing that you lived a unrisky life and you made it this far. Hey, Sayomi, my transgender buddy is in the comments. How's it going? Guys, at the end of the day, what's the point? What's the point of life if you don't live it? What's the point of life if you spend all your time trying to protect yourself from everything? No risk, no rewards. That's how women like it. They want to have all the rewards without taking any risk. That's not how life works. And as a man, you will never, ever, ever find yourself without a few scars in life. There's so many manginas who've done such bad things to people. I was one of those manginas. I threw men under the bus. I threw other men under the bus trying to appease females. I was such a fucking idiot. And then my life was destroyed by them. I guess it came right back around to me. And that's when I woke up. And I had people who tried to warn me of this stuff. I had doctors who tried to explain this stuff to me, like female nature. And I didn't listen, like some older guys. Back when I was trying to go to medical school, there were some older doctors who tried to explain female nature to me and, let me know I was being a mangina. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand female nature until I got older, until I had my life ripped apart by a woman. By women. And I know some of you guys are going to be say, well, if you've had so much pain and if so much bad has happened to you as a result of women, then how can you sit around talking to people like a bitter Brit or a roaming millennial or Barbara For You to See or Based Mama or Amanda Wolfchild? How can I speak to these women? The truth of the matter is this. Despite all the shit that's happened to me, I can't change it. I can spend my time being afraid of women, but that's no way to live. I've done it before. And it's like you're always looking over your shoulder. Fuck it. I say fuck it. Once you've lost everything in life or lost so much, you just want to live life. And you're just happy to be alive, and you try to worry less about losing things and more just about living, and less about the bad things that can possibly happen. I've been homeless. I've almost been killed. I've survived the tuberculosis outbreak. I've had some really frightening people try to kill me when I was homeless. I've been in some crazy situations. Had some crazy run-ins with border crossing agents. I mean, like with guns drawn or almost drawn. I've had some crazy shit happen to me in my life. And I've survived it. I've made it through it. I was in my apartment earlier, my house, and I was looking around, and I was like, the sink is leaking, and I can't plug in the fridge yet because the idiot contractors covered up the wall space where the outlet was. So I'm waiting for them to fix that. But I was standing in my apartment, and I'm like, oh shit, the bathroom, the toilet is too close to the shower, so it's uncomfortable. And, then I stood there and I thought, shit, about 3 years ago, I was a homeless man, sleeping on the street, and I had no hope whatsoever. I had none. I was like done. I could never have seen myself where I am today 3 years ago. It was it was downright impossible that I would have a house. I'd be renting a house, and I would have an office. It's still a work in progress, but it's actually slightly set up now. I've got my MacBook Air in there, and I'm on my Surface Book in my bedroom. I'm laying in this huge, I believe this is actually a king-size bed that I'm laying in right now. And I'm not starving. And I never would have thought I would be here. Years ago, when I was a real homeless person. So I used to wake up at 5 a.m., 5:30, because that's when the cops would come around. And I had the homeless guy bag that I'd have over my bag. I was like a junkie that just didn't do drugs. I didn't do drugs, but I definitely looked like a junkie. And I was filthy. I was absolutely filthy. And I lived like that for 8 months. And it's funny because when I ended up homeless, I thought to myself, I helped so many people. I had been there for so many people, family members, strangers. I had been there for so many people. And no one was there for me. No good deed goes unpunished. There are people who came after me, did things to me, after I did things to help them, in fact. No good deed goes unpunished. I know some people want to say you can't think like that, but it's not true. Because the same people who are saying you can't think like that are the same ones who are just hoping that by them doing good in life, good will come back to them. But they're unrealistic. These days, when I do something to help, if I do something to help someone else, it's only because I sincerely want to do it. I'll give you an example. About a week or two ago. Now, this wasn't, it wasn't too, okay, so a while ago, it was actually a while ago, I was at an ATM, and there was a guy standing at the ATM, and I could see that he was using a card. He was using one of those cards. It was a debit card that you use to give blood with, and then you basically give blood, and then they put the cash on the card. And he went to the ATM, and he was trying to take cash out, and he couldn't get any cash out. And I thought to myself, shit, I've been in that same position. In that same position. And he was an older guy, probably around 40 something maybe. Could have been 50 even. And I went to the ATM, and I try not to do things for people as much anymore, because I say, look at the world. But I looked at him and I said, hey, come here. And I took out a 20 and I put it in his direction. I said, and he just looked at me. I said, just to help you get by. And he looked at me, and he looked at me, and he looked at me. And then he goes, okay. And he took the money. I tapped him on the shoulder and he went. Didn't even say thank you. And that was okay, because he didn't want the money, but he took it. He needed it. That's the time when I think it's genuine, when you help others without anything, because I realized that I wish that someone would have helped me like that when I was completely face down. To this day, I don't think no one ever did anything like that for me, by the way. But I realized that maybe I can't be the only person out there that would help someone like that. Hopefully there's someone else out there. But again, maybe I'm just unique. They say no good deed goes unpunished, but I didn't feel so bad knowing that it was a guy. At least I helped another man. But again, at least I helped someone. That's how life is. Don't ever expect anything good to come back to you. I'm a believer in Jesus, but at the same time, I don't believe in karma. I don't extremely believe in karma. I do believe if you do really bad shit, eventually it can catch up on you. It can catch up to you. But I don't believe in the very nature of karma. I don't. I think that it's just up to us as men to focus on ourselves, focus on the things that make us happy, and to go our own way. That's all we can really do. That's all we can really do to live a better quality life, to do the things we want to do, to achieve the things we want to achieve. We can't really focus on others. We just have to focus on ourselves. That's really the truth. Looking at the comments, one guy says, my brother is a big mangina and he's 40. How pathetic. It's funny because it's sad when someone gets to be that age. When someone gets to be that age, it's like, what are you doing? Someone says, Angry MGTOW is wandering around in his head trying to formulate a philosophy. I'm not trying to formulate a philosophy. MGTOW is just not getting married, not having children, focusing on yourself and your own happiness. That's all MGTOW is. Nicholas Schindler said, Angry MGTOW, what happened to you? I got falsely accused of sexual harassment, and then I ended up having to drop out of school a year and a half before I was going to apply, a year before I would apply to medical school. And after that, I thought my entire life fell apart, and that's pretty much it. That's my story. I mean, there was a lot of shit that happened before that, with my bitch cut feminist mother, but that's a story for another day. MACA says, Angry, it's to the point now, women who just don't like you don't want you gone. They want you dead. Here's the thing. I know that I'm a man, and like I said, if they want me dead, they'll have to take me out themselves or send someone after me. But I'm not going to spend all my time worried about it. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I'll tell you something funny about Trump's doctor. A lot of people went after this guy after he gave Trump an incredible, saying that he was the most healthy person he had ever seen in his entire life. But something funny, he did an interview afterwards, And they said, what happens if, something happens with him in the White House because, he's overweight and blah, blah, blah. And his doctor said something. This was pretty recent. He said, if he dies, he said, if something happens, it happens. As simple as that. He said, if something happens, it happens. Guys, that's really life. Shit happens. We can't protect ourselves from every bad thing in the world. We can't protect ourselves from every narcissistic woman in the world. It's just pointless. I'm tired. Yeah, I get it. Feminism sucks. We can get fucked over. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of feminism. I'm just going my own way. That's MGTOW. I like pussy. Makes me relaxed. Clears my head. So I fuck a whore here and there. I like it. Makes me feel good. I'm doing my own thing. I'm not marrying them, not having children with them. So I'm MGTOW. I'm focusing on myself and my own happiness and my passion. What else can I do? Just having a sex with a woman doesn't make you any less of a MGTOW. We're men. We have urges. And some people will say, well, you need to learn how to control those urges. Here's the thing. Those biological urges can also be linked to creativity and a bunch of other things. Some will argue I'm wrong. Again, I really don't give a damn what people say. I just know how I feel. And some will say, well, you're weak. You're weak because you can't you can't let go of pussy. If you were a real MGTOW, you could stop fucking women. MGTOW never had anything to do with stop fucking women. Didn't have anything to do with that. Didn't even have anything to do with avoiding women. MGTOW's not a hate movement. MGTOW doesn't even, it's just all the crazy shit that goes on within the MGTOW, and a lot of this shit is coming from some of the younger MGTOWs too, who come to the community and want to be coddled, but then they have all this anger inside of them. I've been through the anger. I've done it all. So much of it. I've seen it. I'm tired. I'm just trying to live MGTOW for myself. Life's too short, man. I don't have time for all that shit. Minimalism is a great way of living. But being a minimalist doesn't mean living in poverty. In fact, a lot of people who have wealth, they try to live a minimal lifestyle because it makes their lives easier. In fact, I think it's easier to be a minimalist when you're wealthy than when you're poor. Truth be told. Because it's easier to organize your life around the things that you want, around the things that you have. Looking at one comment from Mr. Aeneas, karma really means the effects of what you do. Karma is not predestination or fate and can be modified by intelligent action. I think that's a good definition. Gary Ring says, I'm 60 retired. I play trumpet and guitar in bands around young women. They hit on me pretty bad. I say no. I've said it before that as shit hits the fan, you're gonna have these 20-year-old, 18-year-old women going after 50, 60-year-old men who have resources. They will. That's where it's headed. And a lot of these girls are gonna have serious daddy issues, and they're gonna just want daddies. MACA, MGTOW art hookers, pussies loose. Depends on the girl, to be very honest. There's this one chick, I think she claims she's 29, but then she has like a 16-year-old son. She doesn't look 29, she looks more like 40. But she has an amazing pussy. Whenever we fuck, I fucked her like 3-4 times now. Whenever we fuck, like her pussy does this thing where it like clamps my dick. And it's like, it literally clamps down it literally clamps on my dick. Like, it's hard to even come. And it's like, her vagina is amazing. Amazing. It depends on the girl. Not every girl is loose. And here's something that guys don't understand about hookers. For example, like, if I go to a brothel, there's a ton of girls in the brothel. Not every single girl will fuck a guy that day. Many girls in there will only fuck one guy a day, if no guys. Think about that carefully. For example, if a girl has a boyfriend and he's fucking her every single day, It's a girl who has a boyfriend and they're fucking on a regular basis. You would think her pussy would probably be looser than a girl who works in a brothel and may only get fucked once or twice a day, if at all, not getting fucked at all. So it's actually kind of interesting. Like you would think that you'd think, oh, these girls are going through 100 guys a day. That's absolutely incorrect. Man, and then on top of it, a lot of men, if like the more expensive ones, they literally only fuck one or two guys, sometimes two, three guys a week. Think about that carefully. Sani Chiba says it's simple biology, man. Get go get pussy when you need it and get in with your damn day, bro. Yeah, get on with your day. Exactly. Exactly. You get pussy when you need it and you get on with your day. Exactly. Dr. Asshole, what's up, Angry? What's up, Dr. Asshole? Mr. Arena says, I did have a woman who loved me, cared if I succeeded, was a great cook and housekeeper. Know who she was? Who was she, dude? Your mom? Bingo. They never going to be another one of those. My mother was a cunt. She didn't care if I succeeded. In fact, she tried to hamper any success I would make so I would never leave her. In terms of being a great cook, she was a good cook, but getting her to cook anything was always a bitch. I mean, she would complain about every meal she cooked, and it was always a pain in the ass with her. It was always a pain in the ass with her meals. It was always a pain in the ass. And a great housekeeper, she thought that she was the best cleaner in the entire world, but she was just really more ADD and narcissistic. Mother's a cunt. Don't know if she's still alive. Really don't care. Sony Chiba says she's orgasming. The vagina clamps like that. Ah, that makes perfect sense. She's probably orgasming. You're right. Yeah, she is really, when we fuck, she gets really into it. Like, she seems to like me a lot, and I guess it's because I'm a little older. Like, she can relate to me. So, I mean, guys, life is really, they say, I remember the old Forrest Gump line, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's the thing about life. It's true. But the thing about that is that if you never open the box and you never delve into the chocolates and taste the different ones and see if it's like hard, or if there's nougat in the middle, or if it's like a cherry filling, or if it's something that's really bitter. You never really know until you take a bite out of that chocolate. Some pieces will be great, some pieces you just won't like as much, or you may not even like at all. But you won't know until you try. It's funny. Some people will say, women, you can end up in jail dealing with a woman. You can end up in jail just going about your business. I used to think, I remember I had friends who went over to Iraq, and they fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I would say to them all the time, I'd ask them the same question. Aren't you afraid that you could have ended up getting killed in Iraq? Aren't you afraid? And they would all give me the same answer. You can die crossing the street. And I thought, you guys are so full of shit. That's so stupid. Because the chances of you getting killed crossing the street are much lower than you getting killed in Iraq. But then as I got older, and after I experienced some crazy shit like homelessness, I realized it. You can die crossing the street. You can die crossing the street. You can get pneumonia and die. So many things can happen. You can choke on your own spit and die. It's the honest truth. We can spend all our time trying to protect ourselves from the world, or we can go out into the world and experience life for ourselves. Doesn't mean that we have to put ourselves in danger or in harm's way, but it also means that we have to actually go out there and experience life, and that means taking risk. Doesn't mean that you have to go fall in love with a woman and ask her to have your baby or give her a ring. But it does mean doesn't mean living your life and not letting someone completely control your life. That's what life is about. Life is about the pursuit of happiness. That's the truth. I want to also remind you guys that I do make 3 of these videos every day, and there's some people who hate the things I say. There's some people who really hate the things I say, and I'm just honest. I'm as honest as I can be. So the money that I get from you guys, that any of you guys contribute, it helps me to make more content. It all goes back into the channel. It all goes back into the channel. I am a web developer by default, and any money that I spend on my hookers, that's my money. That's money that I've worked for. It's money I've earned through projects. That's not money that I take from donations. All donations go to keep the channel going. It goes to software. It goes to my computer expenses. I need to buy a new computer. I just bought this one see, that's the funny thing. I bought the one I'm on right now. I spent $2,000 on, and some of you will say $2,000. It cost $2,000 to buy a computer that was actually strong enough to stream these videos so that there was no hiccup and no lagging. Yeah. So because the videos I make for you guys, I use it. They look simple. You don't think that they take up a lot, but they do. They use lots of processing power. Just being able to think about that. I'm streaming live video to you guys in many of my videos. Live video, streaming live video within the video. That uses bandwidth. That uses a lot of processing power. So I'm paying a lot for internet. I'm paying a lot for the computer. I need to purchase another computer that's going to be really expensive so that I can put out more content for you guys. Because this is a 13-inch and I need a bigger unit that will allow me to be more productive. And I'm working hard to put out regular content for you guys because this is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about making content for you. I'm passionate about having conversations with you. I'm passionate about you guys. This is what I'm passionate about right now. You have to find the thing you're passionate about. It's critical that you do. So definitely please check out my Patreon. You can find a link to my Patreon on my YouTube homepage or in the description of this video. And there's all these great rewards when you become a Patreon, such as access to videos that are exclusive to Patreon. I'm setting up a Discord server that will be exclusive to only Patreons. Tons of other things that you can find on there. You can become a Patreon for as little as $5. But Patreon is what really helps to keep the channel going, not ad revenue, Patreon. So please check out my Patreon and become a patron on there. Also, never miss another video from my channel by enabling notifications. Just click on the little bell below any of my videos next to the subscribe button. You'll see a pop-up that says send me all notifications for the channel. Check the box, hit save, and when you've done this, you'll always receive a notification whenever I'm live streaming or put out another video. And if you've already done it, you don't have to do it again. And this ensures you never miss another Angry MGTOW video. I want you guys to see that I'm a real person, and I'm being honest and genuine with you. I share my life with you. I share what's really happening with you, because I think that's the best way you can be in life. It's just transparent. Be yourself, be honest, and don't try to be anything or anyone that you're actually not. Like I said, you can't go through life trying to protect yourself from every single thing that's going to happen. Because life is not about that. Life is about scars. Life is about experiences. I remember this rap lyric, which is funny. 50 Cent once said, "Dying must be easy because life is hard. It'll leave you mentally, emotionally, and physically scarred." And it's absolutely true. Life is hard. Life isn't easy. But that's why you have to work at it. You have to go for the things that you want. And you have to realize that no matter what you do sometimes, you'll still find yourself dealing with pain and suffering. Right now, I enjoy talking to other YouTubers. I enjoy talking to females because it's fun making fun of them. And, it doesn't kill me. And that's my decision as a MGTOW. I'm not fucking any of them. It's just my decision as a MGTOW. And there you go. I'm living MGTOW the way I want to live it, the way it makes me happy, and that's my choice. No one else can say anything about that. No one else can judge me. No one else can judge you for doing MGTOW the way you choose to do MGTOW. That's life. Let me know what you think in the comment section if you agree that no good deed goes unpunished. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you liked the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MGTOW or death. And cheers.